I'm for stopping Iran, very simply, from having a nuclear weapon. They can't have a nuclear weapon. I want Iran to be great and prosperous and terrific. I stopped them once they were broke and they didn't have any money for Hamas. They didn't have any money for Hezbollah.
Oil prices down about 2.5%, falling on signs of progress in talks between the United States and Iran. The Trump administration stepping up pressure on Tehran to end its nuclear program, or America will do it for them. Over the weekend, both sides agreeing to begin drawing a framework for an agreement. This is an incredible move, and it's working from both sides, DeRoy. So there are talks or discussions, and of course, the Oman foreign ministry is involved. But it's also the pressure campaign. And even through, say, the sanctions there were sanctions imposed on the Teapot oil refinery in China, the buyer of the Iranian oil exports during the Biden administration, because they refused to enforce the sanctions on the oil exports.
Well, as President Trump was saying in that clip we saw, he had the maximum pressure campaign in his first administration and had the Iranians down to about $2 or $3 billion in foreign reserves. I mean, these people were almost completely broke. They were in desperate economic straits. And then Biden came in and rode to their rescue, lifted these sanctions on oil, lifted all sorts of other sanctions, allowed them to unfreeze assets and bring those in. A group called Open the Books took a look and tallied it up last week. And they reckon that $160 billion, 160 billion with the B, flowed into Iran under the Biden administration. So they went from being almost broke to having $160 billion in their slush fund. What do they do with that money? Do they build roads, build hospitals, build schools? No, they didn't. They sent money to Hamas. They sent money to Hezbollah. They armed the Houthis. They set the Red Sea on fire. They basically underwrote October 7th and the slaughter of 1,200 Israelis. So this is what the Iranians do when they have cash. So I want to see the maximum pressure campaign continue. And a big part of that is drill, baby, drill, produce oil here. That lowers the prices around the world and also reduces the amount of revenue flowing into the Ayatollah's bank accounts. The less money they have available, the less they can use for terrorism, the less they can use for building nuclear weapons.
And this will actually work, I think. I mean, I'm not that optimistic about how trade talks with China will go, but I think this can actually work because strangling them is much easier than in the particular trade situation, and Trump did it once before already. So I'm optimistic to see what happens. Also, our alliance with the Saudis, who not only are investing here in the United States, but have a huge influence on OPEC Plus. They've upped production. So I think right now it's market turmoil and confusion that is kind of keeping these prices where they are. But I think when we start pumping and we really roll back those regulations here in the United States, you'll see these prices go down. That'll stifle Iran more. And there's nothing I want to see more than this regime be completely crippled and have that country try to find its own way. It was a beautiful place. It was filled with smart, innovative, creative, hardworking people. And these mullahs just destroyed it.
That they did.
This is a big picture comment or question, and either you jump in. It's just astonishing how much the Trump administration has taken on in 100 days. And this, it is of critical importance. It's, and President Trump summed it up, that they cannot get a nuclear weapon. And I know that, I don't know if we have the sound, but national security analyst Rebecca Grant said that Iran is very close to enrichment level needed for a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I just say when we talk about the full range of things that the Trump administration is doing, we spend a lot of time on the economy, on tariffs, on tax cuts, but this whole other set of items in the portfolio with Iran, with the border, and the progress that's being made there, the strong signal sent. I mean, they are pounding the Houthis right now, just pound, and that sends a direct message to Iran. And then there's the complicating factors. So Iran can't give as much money and aid to the Houthis, so guess who's doing it now? China, right? China's helping with their drones. China's helping with, Tammy Bruce was just talking about, with satellite imagery, okay? So one thing to understand when you evaluate how the Trump administration is doing is just recognizing the complete mess of complexity that Biden left them and how many things they're trying to solve everywhere all at once. And are you going to get some things wrong? You probably will. But my goodness sakes, the progress they've made just on Iran and the border front alone, not to name all the other things, is extraordinary. And I think too often they're being held to a standard of moving fast when nobody's ever seen anyone move this fast before and get so much done.
Yeah, my only comment is money is fungible. So you have to cut, and Jackie knows more than I do to be dangerous in this, but you have to cut funding from everywhere. Because if we cut off oil, but then we're still giving them money through USAID or whatever program that they're trying to infiltrate their little paws on, they'll use the money to fund whatever project they want because the dollar is fungible. So you have to cut off all sources to make it work. Otherwise, the money will be siphoned there eventually. And we saw what happened then on October 7th.
Absolutely right, yeah. And one of the things that absolutely has to be part of this deal, which really wasn't part of the last deal, is basically on-site inspection.
Yes.
One of the things in the previous deal was unbelievable, this deal that Obama agreed to, that military sites would be off limits. I mean, why would you go look for weapons on a military base? I mean, why would you go there? So whatever deal comes out of this, it should be that the U.S. inspectors should be able to go to any square inch of Iran anytime they want, immediately, not wait 2 weeks and come back a month later. Oh, we're busy, come back a month from now. No, you walk in right then and say, we're going to take a look around and see if there's anything funny here.
Yeah.
And if there is, put an immediate stop to it. Spot check like that.